This is the Disagreeable Podcast, bros. Today's segment is
Fight of the Century or Scam of the Century? Floyd Money Mayweather or Conor the Notorious McGregor? Who do you think?
I think it's a freaking scam. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly think it's a scam, dude. Think about it. If you look at both the earnings, whether or not you lose, like they've talked about taking it, like putting all the money up for grabs. Whoever wins gets all the money.
Why does Money Mayweather need money? Is he going broke?
Well, let's put it in any perspective. Why does anybody need money?
Well, he's
the more money you have, the higher you are in power in any
If
ranking system.
it's purely about the fight, then it's not even about the money. It's about your self-pride.
Well, look at it this way. So you had the Floyd Money Mayweather fight, a couple of years ago at Manny Pacquiao. You got to think about it. It was $400 million up for grabs right there. So that was just generating revenue just for the fight and everything. So either way, both parties are going to walk out with lots of money anyway.
Yeah,
freaking whatchamacallit, the Las Vegas airport was like full with private airplanes.
And it
wasn't even a good fight.
No.
Not to call him a bad fight or anything, but Floyd, as we all know, his record is 49-0. 49 is a very odd number. Very odd number. Sorry about that. Like I said, very odd number. Do you think they would make it a scam so he has a perfect 50-0? Or do you think they'd be like, well, because if you think about it, an MMA fighter going into boxing, you would think the MMA boxer's got it hands down.
I don't know.
They would scam it out and make it be like, the MMA boxer goes, or the MMA fighter goes into a boxing match, he should have it in the bag. What if he loses?
Yeah.
The ratings on the boxing would skyrocket. So now the boxing, they're going to get skyrocketed. Everything in MMA, they're going to be like, wow, MMA's not as good as what we thought. Obviously, it's still, MMA is still the ultimate fighting club. Or whatever. What does UFC stand for?
Yeah.
Literally. So
Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Whatever. Anyways, they still are the dominants in fighting, whatever it's boxing, kick fighting, or street fighting.
They're the elite in the fighting world. You got to look at it that way. You got to think about it. Pound for pound, UFC fighters, they take massive blows.
Yeah.
They use their entire body, their heads, their elbows, their knees, their feet. These guys are going, like I said, hand to hand with each other, and sitting there, dominating. Whether it be Muay Thai, martial arts of some sort, or karate, or even Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. These guys, they train for years. You would think they, the UFC fighters and the mixed martial artists, have an advantage when it comes to a boxer.
Okay, but what about the scam for this fight? What do you think? Is it a fight or a scam?
Well, why does a fight start 2 years ago? It started July 2015 because Conan O'Brien show. McGregor said, "Hey, I'd like to fight him. Who wouldn't like to dance around the ring with $180 million?"
Yeah,
but everyone already knew at that time that Floyd had already retired. He said, "I'm retiring at 49-0." Not that he was putting his record at stake for another fight, but he's done. He's got nothing else to prove. He's proven he's the best boxer in.
He's tied though.
With
he's
who?
Tied with Marcicchio.
I don't know who that is. I don't know boxing that well, but
fuck.
But again, okay, so he tied. So he's still number one then. He's still tied for first.
But his knockout percentage or dictation is only 58.
You don't need to knock out an opponent to win. You just need to land hits. You can land one hit and your opponent can land 0. You're going to win that match. If he can hit McGregor, get a good punch, a good uppercut, or a good side kick, or no kicking in boxing, my bad, but a good side hook or whatever, I think right there, that if he can just do exactly what he did in the Manny Pacquiao fight, get a good hit and run around in circles, I think that would be it. But knowing Conor, how he is in MMA, he's very aggressive. He's going to be in Floyd's face.
No doubt about it.
That's talking about if it's a fight. What if it's a scam? Do you think... obviously they're going to try and make it go on, but if it's a scam, I honestly think it's going to go 12 rounds. If it's a scam, it's going to go 12 rounds, guaranteed.
If it's a scam, goes 12 rounds, I agree. I'll agree.
There's no way. There's no way these two fighters should go on for 12 rounds.
You got to look at it though.
Someone's got to go down. Like no one's landing hits.
If it's a real fight, someone's going down.
But if you look at it, back in the old days, you had some of the great boxers, Muhammad Ali. Who else? You had Evander Holyfield. Those guys, they would box it out in the ring. They would go high rounds, 8, 10, 12 rounds, if they would ever face off with each other. I mean, like I said, I understand what you guys are coming from with the scam part of it, but you also got to look at it from their perspective as well too when it comes to fighting. They're two totally different strategy fighters. You know?
Most definitely.
Yeah, but they've come to a certain set of rules now.
Yeah, they have.
No.
So half of McGregor's fight is gone.
Yeah, he lost everything
that
from his
doesn't
waist
matter.
down.
It doesn't matter. If you look at his stats, he's stayed above the head. Most of his shots are head. Most of his shots are to the body.
Yeah, his shots are to the head and body, but how many of those are actually on the ground, like while he's on that takedown? How many of those are while he's laying down on top of the opponent or laying down under him and he's swinging? How many of those hits are that? Or how many hits are actually him standing up?
I don't know. I think you guys are overestimating McGregor. I'm just saying.
I think
again,
McGregor's going to lose.
If Floyd went into an octagon, Floyd would stand no chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Floyd would get obliterated.
Yeah.
But they're not going into an octagon.
Well,
They're going
it's
into a
also an
boxing
age.
ring.
It's also an age issue too. Like most people don't think about that too. Mayweather's an old dude. Like he's not going to be
Okay.
able to hobble around the octagon like that.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think Conor McGregor is the best fighter in the world right now?
No.
Oh no.
Okay.
There's no doubt about
Okay.
that.
Now let's go back to boxing. Is Floyd Mayweather the best boxer?
No.
In
Why?
the world?
In the world.
Yes.
I don't
You
know.
can put him up to Muhammad
So
Ali.
even in my opinion,
You can put him
even
up to
if
Muhammad
Floyd
Ali,
loses
that
this,
good.
I think even if Floyd loses the match, he still wins overall. Yes,
I don't know about that.
Conor won the fight. Yes, Conor won that. But Floyd, he's making money no matter what. Honestly, I don't think this fight really matters to him, which is why one thing would lead to a scam. He's like, if I win or lose, I'm still going to be making.
If it didn't matter to him, then why come he didn't get in an octagon?
Well, because that way he would stand no chance and he would be hurt from the waist down. He's never had. Well, I don't know if he's never had, but he's never had an injury fighting from the waist down.
Yeah.
And if he has, it's he tripped over his leg or something, and he broke it, or he fell off the ring. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was never in a boxing fight, in the middle of the boxing fight, punching the other guy,
Yeah.
and his leg broke or his leg snapped because they were kicked. I mean, that's illegal in boxing.
True.
So
Well, I'm looking at it this way. I did some research on McGregor and everything like that. Back in his junior days of boxing, because he was a boxer before he was a mixed martial artist. He stood a pretty good chance in boxing. Like I said, he was a little wild. I mean, he had a kind of an unorthodox style of boxing, but he got to move around. I mean, he was a good boxer, and with his record, he was pretty much almost undefeated when he was a junior boxer. And then he decided to make that transition into the martial artist world, and look who he became. He's one of the. I'm not saying he is the best martial artist in the world, but he is one of the upcoming best martial artists in the world.
Who's that again?
McGregor.
Yeah.
Well, the
I
problem
don't
is
know.
boxing is a solo category. Martial arts, that's a broad spectrum. It goes from like Jackie Chan, Bruce
well, that's
Lee.
exactly why they had to fix the rules for this match.
They're martial
But
artists.
I haven't actually looked at the official rules yet, but I do know that if Conor McGregor uses anything that's MMA related or not MMA or UFC related, he gets disqualified right on the spot.
Yeah,
That's a that's a DQ right there. So
They can just use that to end the match. Imagine that if they were both in it for the money, like,
that's what I'm
we'll
saying.
split it 50-50.
Another thing, if it goes one round, I think that could be another thing. Floyd lands one good punch right in the nose. One good punch. McGregor's going to go boom. He's going to go into his UFC mindset. Oh, I got a good hit in. Guess what I got to do? I got to kick his butt. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he's instantly going to go for the waist, take down, and right there's going to be a DQ, but he's not going to stop. He's Conor McGregor. He has his opponent on the ground. He's not going to stop.
Yeah.
He's
know.
going to beat him
I
down.
disagree with you.
I don't know. I feel like like kind of what Aiden said.
I feel like it's gonna be a later on thing
This is all
where he's
about,
like, let's get the fight over.
Well,
I feel like this is all about a mental preparedness thing. I think McGregor knows what his his odds are and what he's stacked against. and everything.
I think he's being real cocky.
I mean, he's being
I
cocky.
think- I think
but
he's-
think about
That's
it.
why I
He's
think
just-
he's gonna lose. Is
But
because
listen,
they're always the
but
cocky
listen,
person.
But listen, I mean, that's not always the case. I mean, you always get those cocky players every now and then. But look what happens when those cocky players they come out on top. But like I said,
Not all the time.
I said not all,
Let's
not
go
all,
to
some of
football.
them,
Let's go to the Super Bowl just recently with the Falcons and the Patriots. If you look back at the soundtracks and the wired up players, Sanu Senior, I think his last name was. I don't know his first name, but Sanu Senior. The whole game on the sideline, he was talking about how they were whooping the Pats and they were going to win. They're going to put 40 on their asses.
You know what's even better?
He got cocky and look what happened. They ended up blowing it. I'm not saying it was his fault and his fault only, but because of his cockiness, the whole team kind of was like, "Yeah, he's right. Yeah, we got this. Let's
Yeah.
what's there to prove anymore? We already have him up 25 points."
Allen Iverson's another great example of it. He said fuck practice and excuse my language, but he said screw practice and lost to Lakers.
And now look where he is.
But I mean, still,
Yeah.
but
Isn't
listen,
he's ringless, isn't he?
No, but listen. But here's the thing, though. You can sit there and talk, about the things about how he missed practice and everything like that. But overall, Allen Iverson is one of the greatest basketball players in the NBA's history. Don't get me wrong. Kyrie Irving's the hands down.
I wouldn't say
his handle skills are on point. But even he said that if he was to go, back in Allen Iverson's prime days, he couldn't come near it.
Yeah.
Well, we can take this back to Floyd's younger days. Floyd, he 5 championships in 5 different weight classes. All right, cool. That's great and all. He had to start somewhere. He was never the biggest fish in the pond either. I'm bragging about all his money and stuff he has. Look at his Maybach. He doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I
He's cocky too, talking about how he doesn't need this and that because he's got a $100 million check uncashed in his wallet at all times. Then he doesn't need this fight.
I think if it doesn't go at least 3 to 6 rounds, or 3 to 8 rounds, if it's between 3 to 8 rounds, I don't think it's a scam. If it's any less or any more, I think it was definitely a scam. Ended early because look, everyone paid $12,000 a ticket. End the fight early. What? No one gets hurt. You literally have Conor do a takedown on Floyd. The match ends right there. You just made $400 million?
Yeah.
Look at the Ronda Rousey fight. How many tickets sold and how much money did they make for a 12-second fight? 12 seconds. Imagine a round or two for the ultimate fight.
Yeah.
Too much blood's been spilled now.
Yeah.
In the fan site.
Well, no,
I remember earlier today someone had mentioned how as soon as they did that whole confrontation thing, they were face to face for the first time, talking to each other, talking bad to each other. They were found on the same jet, leaving.
Yeah.
Why would you be talking shit to face to face and then be on the same jet like nothing just happened 10 minutes ago?
But you got to think about it from any other different perspective too. Good sportsmanship like conduct. So what?
There's no sportsmanship with that. If you got in somebody's
in this
face,
fight at that point where they were already saying, I'm gonna win. No, I'm gonna win. I mean, look what Conor wore to that place. He wore a suit that literally said "fuck you" down the whole thing. Excuse the French, but
think about it, that's all a publicity stunt. You're just sitting there.
Exactly, that's what the fight is. It's a publicity stunt.
Listen, I don't think the fight's a publicity stunt. I think he just did that. I think he just did that just because like I say, you want to show the people that he's the dominant one. He doesn't give a shit about what Mayweather thinks.
True.
I think exactly how you just said it, except in a different way how I take it. I think it's a publicity stunt. Just that word in general, what you said. I think because, look, they're already making millions right now. As we speak, they're making millions right now.
T-shirts, propaganda.
T-shirts, tickets, you name it. They're making
pay-per-view.
Again, 12 seconds. That's all they need.
The projected net revenue right now is $600 million. That's after all the merchandise and everything's purchased, right? They still have concessions for the night. They also have everything else from the night too,
Not to mention sponsors. Who knows how many sponsorships they have going on right now?
Dozens.
So what are you projecting?
Because just think the boxing management in general has sponsors. Now Conor and Floyd are both going to get sponsors for themselves.
The UFC is going to be sponsoring fight.
Obviously,
one of their fighters is in there.
I wouldn't doubt MMA wouldn't sponsor it either.
Tap out. This would be a good time for tap outs. So we're saying $600 revenue. I give that to them. I give every cent of that to them. Maybe they're predicted that now as of now. But after everything's said and done on that night, between even the side bets and everything, I think they will come home with every cent of that $600 million.
No doubt. No doubt.
Double that.
I think no matter what happens in this fight, it's going to be split right down the middle. I think they already agreed to it. I think they signed a contract already that said, hey, no matter who wins or who loses, if it's $600 million exactly, I get 300, you get 300. Again, I think it's a publicity stunt. I think what they're doing is
since I won, I get an extra
so it's 60-40. Winner gets 60%, loser gets 40. Okay, but
then it comes into play as Mayweather doesn't want to be.
They only need a round. They need one round. They get one decent round in of fighting, if that's what they want to call it. They could literally just look at each other, throw a few punches, oh, Mayweather got 2 more punches in than Conor, so he automatically wins. But because he hit him hard enough and he fell, he automatically wins.
Well, I mean,
The 1 round is all he needs, you know?
you could also
True.
look at it this way: scam or not, Mayweather has nothing to lose here.
Exactly.
His career is done. So if
Yeah.
anything, he'd be the loser in that fight.
He literally came out of retirement just to do a little fight. Well, okay, it's not really little anymore, but to do a fight. What is? I mean, he literally doesn't. It's not like he came out to beat someone that beat him years ago. You know, like his first loss. Well, which I mean, it hasn't happened. But let's say he was.
That's only his.
Let's
this
just-
weight class of boxing.
Let's just say it's 48-1. Let's say that was his record right now. If he was going against that one loss, I think right then and there would be different. Because coming out of retirement to fight him, it'd be a lot. It'd be like he has something to prove. I know I'm a better fighter than you. I can come out of retirement and beat you now.
Okay, so that's where Conor McGregor has everything to lose. Young guy in the fight career, young guy trying to just make a name for himself. Well, he has a name for himself, but imagine how much bigger that would be for him. He's got everything to lose. I don't think he's gonna.
I don't think he has anything to lose.
No, I think he does.
I don't. If he
about it.
loses this match, okay, cool.
Self-pride.
Just think about it.
Self-respect.
An MMA fighter lost a boxing match. Okay, yeah, he wasn't allowed to use
What,
80% of his
now?
weapons.
But think about it, like, you know, they have their pride. and
Just
skill,
a
and
U.S.
they're
soldier. Just
fighting.
take a U.S. soldier. You're going to send to Iraq with a single grenade?
Totally different thing.
You took away 80% of his weapons, right?
Shots have landed body and head.
But how many of those are on the ground?
He's only had 5 takedowns. We could break it down by fight or by takedown. Takedowns could be from a counter, like he went to bring me out, I rolled on top of him.
Okay.
Still,
Again, but how many hits does he land while he's on top or on bottom? How many hits does he hit while standing up? How many times does it look like a boxing match when he's in that octagon?
at least 300 hits are standing up.
Okay. 300? That's about
Out
Floyd.
of the 483 in his last match, 300 were standing up.
You gotta think about it. He's had 18 technical knockouts. I mean, even with feet or not, elbows, you
And
know, actually
Floyd's
standing and
had,
being
what,
up. That's still
26?
pretty impressive.
Floyd's had 26. McGregor's almost caught up to him in least amount of fights.
You gotta think
But
about
you-
it. McGregor's been in the game.
McGregor's
not
also
like
playing a
short
more
time.
physical thing. A more physical fight is what I meant to say. Floyd is literally only using his fist. That is it. Conor's using his body, his elbows, his hands, I mean, his head maybe, his legs, his knees, his feet, you name it. He's using his body. That's wearing out the opponent even more. Floyd's just using his fist. Yes, I mean, you gotta bend left and right, back and forward, and duck and whatever to dodge punches, but you're not being as active as you are being in the octagon.
Hold up. That's where you're wrong. Floyd has an average of 33 minutes per fight. That's how long he's usually averaged to last.
Okay, but look what Floyd does.
He's clearly being more active
He
by
gets a few
jumping
hits in and walks and does a few circles, gets a few hits, does a few circles, gets a few hits, does a few circles.
Okay, but McGregor he'll attack for straight minutes at a time.
Okay, well that's all he has to do. All Floyd has to do is keep doing a back up and then land 2-3 hits, back up, 2-3 hits, back up.
So he's being the most.
Because
active.
as soon as Floyd swings, what's Conor gonna do? He's gonna go into a block and he's gonna have to slow down his pace. Not like swinging pace, but he's gonna have to slow down his walk speed. Oh, I'm being hit.
But then,
Floyd's gonna boom, 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 walk away.
then what's your point about somebody being more active?
My point about him being more active?
Yeah.
Well, because he's using his whole body in the octagon.
But if Floyd's the more active one by
No, Floyd's not the more active one. He just runs around more.
the fight times are longer with Floyd because he's actively more involved in the fight,
Because they're not hitting each other.
but he's still being more active. It
No, he's
takes more
not. He's just
energy-
doing circles.
It takes more
They're,
energy to run from somebody than to throw a fist.
okay, but it takes a lot more energy to dive at someone and tackle them than to run around from somebody.
Not
To
necessarily.
use your whole body in a fight versus doing a circle 3 times in a little ring.
You know, I'm going to tag on to some of what you just said. You know, you've been recently been saying a lot that, you know, he's been using his whole body. So think about that. He has it to his advantage, actually. Now that I
But
think
he
about
can't
it.
use that in the boxing
But
fight.
listen.
Because if he does, he gets DQ'd right there on the spot.
But here's the thing I'm talking about to his advantage. You know, you talk about how he uses his whole body. I understand he can't use his entire body. He can only use his fist. That's all he can use. But think about it. How many blows do you think he gets taken to each one of those limbs of his body to the point where, you know, where he's almost incapable of, you know, actually doing that?
Well, he doesn't have to get KO'd by Floyd. All he has
But
to
I'm
do
just
is
thinking
take the most amount of hits. Floyd just has to hit him. If
But
he
I'm
hits him
saying,
more,
If he's
So-
too busy running, how's he hitting?
like I just said, as Conor's coming at him, he's going to go into a block phase. You start swinging. As soon as Conor breaks out from his block phase, starts hitting, you move back. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Then how's it gonna take more energy to dive on somebody for me to take you down real quick? I use a short burst of energy, and then we're at a standstill waiting for the next move.
No, because
If
you're
Floyd
both
keeps
actively
doing
moving, but then you're using your whole body to counter. Because not to mention the other guy's counterweighting you, so you're trying to lift up a 200-pound man who's counterweighting you, which probably becomes what 350, 400 pounds maybe. So now you're trying to lift him and then do all these other movements to make him trip or get another hit on him. As soon as you get him down, you're not gonna be like, okay, what's my next move? Do I want to lift my leg or do I want to fist? You're just gonna start swinging. You got him down. I'm gonna start doing whatever I can to make sure I'm gonna win this fight. Floyd is not like that. Floyd is I gotta keep my feet moving and move my fist. That's it. It's move my feet, move my fist. McGregor is I gotta move every limb.
That was, but now you put him in a situation where he doesn't have to move every limb. So okay, he's used to being more active then. He's obviously got the stamina then. People say, oh, well, he's worn out by round 5. And it's because he's using everything. You put him in a chance where he's not using everything, he's still got that energy from his legs.
But you know he's gonna want to.
Okay.
Okay, but that's where it all comes into play because now he has to resist the MMA urge. He has to physically and mentally be prepared to not go into his MMA stance or his MMA fighting skills or whatever. He can only use his fist. If he swings his foot up one time, disqualification. If he goes in for a takedown, disqualification. So now he's only allowed to use his fist again. Floyd has been used to this for however long he's been boxing. So he knows all the tactics. He knows all the counters. Floyd knows what he's doing in a boxing ring. I know what you said earlier, how Conor used to be a boxer, but how long ago was that?
It's probably been since maybe back when he was like 16
and he's how old now? 30, 20, 29?
29, yeah.
Okay, so it's been a decade. We'll just say it's been a decade.
But
okay, so I understand your skills never leave, but if you did it when you were 16, you obviously were not doing it at a professional level like Floyd is doing it. Well, not right now, but what Floyd was doing it in. He's been doing it at a professional level for years.
I mean, so does Conor McGregor. He's also been doing the mixed martial art thing, professional.
Exactly, he's been doing mixed martial arts.
But I'm just saying.
So he's.
But there's a lot of striking. There
is. And
9 times out of 10, you don't have to throw a leg.
You don't have to, but you're going to.
But you got to think about it.
If you see an opportunity to swing your leg and get a good KO hit, are you going to do it, or are you going to be like, no, I'm going to use my fist right now?
But you got to think about it. Mixed martial arts are trained on the basics of being self-aware of their fighting. Whoever their opponent is. So you got to think about it. I understand that, McGregor, is a mixed martial artist and, he's trained, prepared to, avoid kicks, elbows, knees, or anything like that. But you got to think about it. I'm pretty sure after a while of, a few blows from, I'm not even blows, but a few punches from, Mayweather, he's going to catch on to his technique because he realizes, he sees his body movement.
Floyd does not have the same technique. Because look, if you look at a fight before Manny Pacquiao, he was a lot more active. He was swinging. The next fight, he's running away. Where's the same tactic there? Manny Pacquiao was like, I'm ready to play a defensive game and win this fight. He played defensive and lost. He was physically, Manny Pacquiao it looked like he was physically ready to take hits and then swing back. But instead he was I gotta be the engager. And I don't know Manny Pacquiao well, I don't know how good of an engager he is. But from that fight, again, I know Floyd was running around a lot, but it didn't look like he was actually trying to engage. He looked like he was going to, and then he was like, oh, Floyd's going to engage. Got to back up. Oh, nope. Okay, got to go back. Oh, no, wait, hold on. He was going back and forth with himself.
True. But you got to think about it. That match was a fluke. Many people, I know how you like to be. You like to think about conspiracies as well, too, about, if he's going to throw the fight or not. That fight was thrown. There was no doubt about that. All they did was sat there, dance around the ring, move back, throw a few hits. That's it, I don't even consider that even being a true fight. Like I said, these two components that are going into the ring right now on the 26th of August?
This Saturday, yeah.
This Saturday, exactly. So you got to think about it. These guys, their thinking level of fighting is going to be on top. They're going to be on their A game. They're going to prove who's the more dominant fighter is. So I think this one.
Okay, you can't say that. You can't say who's the more dominant fighter. This isn't fighting. This is boxing. If you're fighting is what Conor does. Conor fights. Floyd boxes. I don't consider boxing fighting. Yes, it's a form of fighting, but it's not fighting. When you think of fighting, you're thinking of just full out like a brawl, which is pretty much what MMA or UFC is. You guys are just going at it with everything you have.
Either way, they're going to be in a physical dispute
Alright.
with each other. That's the end result.
McGregor has been quote UFC boxing ring. He hasn't been doing that type of stuff. He hasn't been doing flips off the ring and stuff for a year almost. He's been preparing for this fight for a year.
Okay, so 1 year,
been straight up
1 year
boxing.
plus when he was 16. We'll count that as another year. So 2 years versus Floyd's 30.
Well, no, not just 2 years.
But he's getting in the rhythm of
he's
not
been
using
boxing.
his legs.
He's been boxing since he was maybe about 12 years old. No, my mistake. About 10 years old, he's been boxing.
So 7 years.
Between the 10 years
Again,
and
that's-
maybe 16, 17. That's about 6 or 7 years of boxing. And then on top of that, he
Versus
has that,
Floyd's 30 or 40. And yes, I understand what you're about to say, plus Connor's MMA. But again, MMA right there for the boxing. Because MMA,
But you
you're
gotta
using
think about it.
everything
So
you
listen,
can.
But listen, mixed martial arts, it's pretty much exactly how it starts. Mixed martial arts, it's a mix of different fighting styles. Like I said, you got martial arts. I mean, you got, like I said, you got taekwondo. You have mixed martial arts. I mean, not mixed martial arts, but you have Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You have boxing. So it's all pretty much, like I said, it's all pretty much, of each one of those fighting styles. So like I said, he has his advantages in some way. Like I said, Mayweather also has, I know he has this ridiculous amount of years of boxing and everything like that. But Mayweather has been preparing for fights ever since he was 10 years old.
Like I said, yeah, Mayweather's been prepared to fight his next opponent since, like I said, 10. We'll say he was 10. Same age as Connor, 10 years old. Start from 10. So from 10 to now, he's been boxing. Just boxing, that's it. Connor, like you said, from 10 to 16, took a break to MMA, and now one plus year. So 7 years. Again, versus Floyd's at 30. I don't know how long he's been boxing. I don't know how old Floyd is right now. But from 10 to now, we'll say 30. I doubt he's 40 years old, but maybe, I don't know, whatever.
He's like in his 30s, but I'm not quite
But
sure what the age
30 years. I mean, really? I mean, I don't know how the training, I understand Connor trains hardcore. That's no doubt. When you look at Connor's training, it's pretty scary because you see him, he's throwing punches like it's nothing. But that's against a target that's either not moving or forced to take those hits. A little punching buddy, whatever. I don't know what they're called at practices, but
Spars.
Spars.
Partners.
Yeah,
they're literally there to take hits. Yes, they can dodge a little bit and move around, but they're not there to exactly reenact the moves that Floyd does. He's there to take hits and be like, oh, hey, you should work on your right hook some more and hit harder. Okay. Floyd, on the other hand, he's been practicing this his whole life.
Yeah.
I don't know how Floyd... Honestly, I don't know how Floyd can lose this. Unless he literally, when he goes into strike and misses, and Connor counters that right there. I think if Connor can get one...
That can happen in any fight, though.
If Connor gets one good straight punch into Floyd's face, I think that's where the fight will end.
I mean,
I don't know.
Like I said, Floyd's been practicing, and Floyd has been fighting or boxing since he's 10.
So
He knows when to block and when to counter. He's ready for a
So
swing.
would McGregor. McGregor, he's had legs come out of nowhere and hit him in the face. You think he's ready for some hands now? He's not worried about all this other stuff going on. So he's gonna be more focused, more ready. No, it doesn't help that he's younger or anything. Okay, he has a 2-inch reach advantage. He's younger, and he lacks the experience Mayweather does. He's the underdog in this fight due to the lack of experience and everything. But then you go back into it. At the end of the day, he's not worried about some dude grabbing him by the waist and trying to counterweight or anything. All he's worried about is his normal keep moving, keep the hands up.
His normal pace? Well, what is his normal pace? MMA fighting. Mixed martial
Normal
arts.
pace is
But you gotta think about
His
fighting-
normal pace in that
his-
boxing ring
he's
cannot go
boosted
on.
His fighting capability since that because he's been focusing mainly on boxing. So hand to hand, like I said, that's what he's been focused on. He's not worried about someone like you
For
just
1
said.
year.
Okay, but still. Okay.
Again, what's Floyd been doing then? He's just chilling in the Bahamas in a jet? You don't think he's training too to fight Connor?
I don't think he's taking it as seriously as Connor's. Connor's actually.
I think-
Connor has to readjust.
If
his
anything,
entire
I think
running system
Floyd
of
is
fighting.
training either just as hard or even harder, but he's not posting it like Connor is. Conor almost every week is on, ESPN stories.
But you got to think
Oh,
about
look at
it.
his training. Look at this punch. Look at this. Oh, Connor's scary. Conor this, Conor that.
But think
Where's
about it.
Floyd?
But
Floyd is in a
if you
training
think about
room.
it though, when Mayweather was serious about his fighting, especially back in his him and Pacquiao fought, he sat there, posted up every single day, Twitter,
Because he was confident. I'm confident about this fight. There's no doubt I can lose.
So why is he not confident about this fight then, if that's the case?
Because he's still going against an ultimate fighter. He's going against an
This is for his
MMA
legacy.
fighter.
This is the biggest fight of his life.
So listen, there's an 11-year difference between Mayweather and McGregor. Like I said, you got 29 years old McGregor, 40-year-old Mayweather. I just looked that up. So what I'm trying to say is, Mayweather is not quite at his A game like as he was maybe about 10, maybe 15 years ago, back in his prime. But McGregor, he's still growing. Like he's still in his prime. He's still, like I say, he's gonna fight it out, duke it out. Try to make sure that he's on top and he's the best. So like I said, you got a young fighter like McGregor, tenacious, ready to get into the ring, show who's the boss, and show who's gonna be the one on top. And you got Mayweather, okay, I mean, I understand he's got his perfect record and everything like that, but
Records don't play a thing in this.
But ultimately, what is he going to lose? Nothing. He still is going to come on top with, $100 million?
So why does it matter if the fight's real or not? Going back on topic of what we were talking about, fight or scam, why does it matter? If Floyd has nothing to lose, why would it not be a scam?
Because McGregor wants it to be a real fight. That's why.
Okay, but all because he wants it, that doesn't mean anything. If Floyd has
everything
nothing to lose, why is it a real fight? If he has nothing to lose, if I have nothing to lose, I just go in and punch. Oh, ow.
He does have his reputation in line too by this. He's Floyd Money Mayweather. He's won all this money. What is he holding his reputation by if he doesn't end up winning this fight? He's not winning that quote big money. We don't know the deal.
Well,
we don't know
whether you win or lose
behind the back.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Sponsorships plus let's just say it's 60-40.
But we don't know that.
I understand we don't know that.
The table, he wouldn't quote have that money. He wouldn't.
Okay, I don't think that'll ever come out that they agreed to a deal where the winner would get 60% versus the loser gets 40%. That will never come out if that's real. It just won't, because that'll prove right there that the fight was a scam.
Someone will find out.
Someone will go into the deep archives of boxing and MMA and see what deals were made.
Someone will just look at the money, like the taxes. They have to file that, dude.
They always if it comes in at a slow rate, they don't.
What they
don't have?
Are they going to launder the
to,
money?
They can. They don't.
When you win the lottery, you don't just launder.
Yes, I understand. When you win the lottery or you win a big fight, you don't just go, I want $10 of it right now, $10 tomorrow, $10 tomorrow, $10 at a time. Obviously, I want all the money right now. But like you said, the taxes. I mean, if that's going to come down to that, they're only going to win half the money that they win.
Well, no,
so if they're already splitting half.
The money I'm getting them there, all that money that they get is like. I was almost going to say that it's not taxed, but all that they're earning is going to be definitely taxed. But if what we're going to find out is someone's just going to look at their tax return.
And you can think about
that's
it.
That's if they let it out.
So
someone's
gonna.
What about Donald Trump? His tax returns haven't come out. No. I don't want to get this to a political.
Neither has Mayweather. Mayweather hasn't really been paying his taxes like that.
Yeah.
So think about it. If he wins this fight, he gets the money on that, and then he gets he takes away all his tax debt that he owes. So pretty much.
No, you don't.
What about his Maybach repossession? Do you want to touch on that one?
I don't know.
Or do you want to?
I'm not familiar.
I'm not familiar with his Mac, whatever.
It's not Mac. It's a car. It's like I said. It's a what is it? It's a $2 million car.
It was. Then it got repoed. But we don't want to talk about his almost bankruptcy file at the bank. We won't talk about that though. We won't talk about the reasons he's coming out of retirement because whatever is going on at home with his money, it's not what it seems on Instagram and stuff. He's posting all this money and stuff.
I mean, you should change his name from Floyd Money Mayweather to Floyd Broke Mayweather because pretty much with his tax debt that he owes right now, I mean, like I said, what he ends up losing in this fight is a good portion of that money. So of course he's going to try to come out,
But you already said he had nothing to lose. If he has nothing to lose, but now he's fighting to make money, that's two different two different arguments now that you're making.
What I'm trying to say is, his record-wise, he has nothing to lose.
Record doesn't mean anything.
I haven't said.
I mean,
he's got
record does.
everything.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because
If you're saying he has nothing to lose because he's 49-0, that's a waste of breath. I'm sorry.
It's like there's
There's-
in my
there's-
eyes. There's
that's-
no way. There's no way that it's not a scam. There's no way. They're gonna fight, but this thing.
I
they're
think
gonna,
it depends on how many rounds it goes into and how serious
the reason
the
this
fight
fight
looks.
materialized is for the money. They're gonna fight. It's gonna be a real fight. They're gonna fight. It's not like, oh, you're gonna go down at this point, and I'm gonna give you this much money. It's okay. There's a huge opportunity here. We can make a shit ton of money. Excuse my language. And we can just both fight, and then in the end, we just both make bank. Or we just don't fight and no one makes money. Think about it. Everyone's a good.
They can literally go in, and all Conor has to do is wrap up Floyd, and that's the end of the fight. It could be 4 seconds.
Yeah, but
and there's both
But why would he
making
do
millions
that?
on millions of dollars.
Why would he do that if he wants?
But think about it. You get bragging
Because it all
rights
comes
and
down
you
to
get
money.
paid.
For him,
Bragging
it's not
rights on
about
what?
the money.
Instagram for 2
For him,
weeks?
it's not about the money.
He even said it over social media. It's not about the money for him. It's all about beating his behind and pretty much putting it all over social media.
Mayweather. Even this is like countering my argument. Even Mayweather went out and said that I'll give you my win check my loss check. I'll give you my fight check if you win. Right? For him, it's personal.
Who? Conor?
No,
Floyd?
for Floyd, it's
For
personal.
Floyd, because it's been happening since July 2015.
How do you? Because McGregor's, it's personal because the way of how McGregor's rhetoric is. He just comes out here and he just like I can take him down.
The fuck you.
What kind of cojones do you have to sit there and walk over and be like, I can take an undefeated person down, definitely, no question about it. I can take him down. Now, undefeated means nothing, but think about it: the road to get to that. How do you just, without a doubt, just say I can take it? That's like saying that's like a cornerback saying, without a doubt, I can intercept Tom Brady in his prime. Like pick 6 Tom Brady.
But you gotta think about it though. Look at
Or like our defense. It's like it's like if for example like the Seattle Seahawks, the Legion of Boom. No one, it wasn't even spoken of that much, but people compared them as one of the best defenses of all time. I disagree with that, but like, imagine if they said we're the best defense of all time. We can take Tom Brady down in his prime. And the Legion of Boom was when Tom Brady had 4 rings. The Legion of Boom is still a thing, but it's not as good. But he had 4 rings. The Seattle Seahawks have 1. I believe they have 1 trophy. How do you as a defensive group, without a doubt, or like reverting back to our conversation as McGregor, without a doubt, no question, and for all we know, no fear, for someone who's never lost a fight.
Well, it all comes down to the fear factor at that point. Because if you go out and say, he's undefeated, I have nothing, I'm not scared of him, now Floyd's going to be thinking, oh man, he's actually not thinking about losing. He doesn't have any doubt. He's thinking, I'm going to win, I'm going to win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna win.
but if you speak arrogant like that, you're going to get on the court. If he's really about it, then he's really going to fight. But like if he's not,
But what
if
again,
this talks for nothing? He's in
just-
my opinion, if McGregor's talking about just talking to boost his confidence up, the second he steps in that ring, he's going to be scared and he's going to lose that fight. He's going to get knocked out. When there's no way of proving this, but if McGregor is scared, he will get knocked out.
But here's the thing,
If he's not afraid, which he's a fighter, he's fought hundreds of times. There's no reason he should be. But if he's really afraid of losing, he will lose.
I love how you brought that up about the whole arrogant thing. You know what? I'm gonna bring up an excellent point right now. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers in the world, hands down, goes down in the record book, Hall of Fame. So listen, 56. So listen, he had 56 wins, 5 losses, 37 knockouts. He didn't have an undefeated record. But listen, he was one of the greatest fighters, hands down. He sat there and called people out. He was just about as arrogant as McGregor was, or still is nowadays. But he could sit there and call it out because you know why? He had the record. He had the fighting style. He had
Look at Floyd.
knockouts.
He's not out there at 49-0 going, I can take him
all
out.
that right there just to prove.
But Floyd wasn't calling people out. He only called people out the people he was fighting next.
But no,
He
I'm talking
did
about,
not,
I'm
3
talking
years
about
ago
McGregor.
before the Manny Pacquiao fight, he did not go, I can take out Manny Pacquiao. And
Yeah, he
3
did.
years later,
he did. He said that. He told.
Yeah, when he was told he's fighting him.
But listen, if you think
Like
about
I said,
it,
Otherwise,
three
Manny Pacquiao
years,
was
3
irrelevant.
years before that Manny Pacquiao fight, he did not post on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, I can beat Manny Pacquiao one-on-one. I can beat him in the ring. He never said that.
No,
He found out 1 week, someone told him, hey, you're fighting Manny Pacquiao next. Be ready. It's on this date. 2 weeks later, what is he doing on Instagram? Showing off his jets. Oh, I can beat him this way. Oh, I can beat him easily. Yes, he's talking shit about the person he's fighting next. He's not calling out someone ahead of time. Oh, my bad. Unlike Conor was doing with Floyd, he won he didn't win one fight, but he won a fight in his octagon and stood up and in a random interview was just like, I can take down Floyd Mayweather because I'm better than him. Well, if you're talking about MMA, yeah, no doubt you're gonna whoop Floyd. But now you have to go into the rules that are going to be set for both of them to have an advantage and disadvantage. Is it directly on the line? I don't think so. But I mean, where is the equality of this fight? Is it definitely in Floyd's favor, or is it definitely in McGregor's favor? Because just like one of you said he's being cocky, he's saying this and he's saying that. He has something to lose. Well, if he has something to lose, why is Floyd not like up there with him? You know what I mean?
What do you mean, like as a retaliation? Wise?
Yeah. Why is if Conor's calling him out this and that, and why is Floyd not every time Conor says something? Why is he not firing back?
Mayweather says stuff all about McGregor all the time.
Not every time Conor fires though.
About 95% of the time, Mayweather responds.
Not with
back.
something as big though. Conor will be like, "Oh, I can beat his ass," and Floyd will be like, "Yeah, okay, good luck."
If you've seen any of their
It's
interviews
not
or any of their things,
it's
like
not
all
Conor
over
saying,
media,
"Floyd, I'll beat your ass," and then Floyd being like, "Conor, you're a fucking joke." No, you're not. Excuse my language. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, but I'm just saying that as many times as McGregor has, said something about, Mayweather has said something back about McGregor and said, I can kick his ass. He's a chump. He's coming from UFC thinking he can take anybody or beat anyone's ass. I want him to come to my ring and see exactly what he's promising and what he wants to do. I'm just saying that I think overall, like I said, you have your opinion. I have my opinion. I'm going to stick to it at the end of the day, but I think McGregor's going to end up,
Yeah, I understand.
But like I said, we can only wait until see what happens in the fight. Whatever ends up happening, if it ends up in Mayweather's favor or McGregor's favor, then like I said, we'll be the ones to determine whether if this was a fluke or if this was actually the fight of the century everyone was talking about.
Well, I guess that brings up the final question: is it the fight of the century or the scam of the century?
Well,
I think the question's gonna have to be answered Saturday. We're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's gonna come down to Saturday. What happens Saturday?
Is the fight's in nobody's favor? All it is in favor is what happens in that ring. It's gonna change, from now to Saturday.
you can have a Pacquiao repeat, or we could have something that every fan has ever wanted, a great fight. So, like I said, it just
It's
comes
gonna
down
come down to Saturday.
It just comes down to Saturday, exactly.
Yep. I agree. All right. Peace out, bros.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great night.
Yep. See you guys until next time.